so much, Brother Boyd, and our music team. Excellent. The perfect song with the perfect words to match up with my message today. Good morning again, and welcome to Unity Renaissance. I am too excited to be here today. This is a new month, a new year, a new day, a new week. Just lots of exciting things are going on in the world today. So, my question to you is, what are you going to do in 22? I was listening to one of the television announcers when they were talking about people making New Year's resolutions, and she says, well, I'm keeping mine to myself, but I'm going to ask you, what are you going to do in 22? So I thought about it. Where are we today, right here, right now, in the month of January, with our lives? Are we happy with where they are? I want to talk about two terms that are used, breakdown and breakthrough, and ask you, if you take a look at where you are right now in consciousness, where are you? Are you in a breakdown state, or are you in a breakthrough state? Let me share a definition of breakdown. Breakdown can be wearing out, sudden loss of ability to function efficiently, a loss of mental or physical health, a collapse, or perhaps a nervous breakdown. So let me give you a definition of breakthrough. A breakthrough can be defined as advances all the way through and beyond an enemy's defensive, if you're talking about military terms, or it can be an act or instance of removing or surpassing an obstruction or restriction, overcoming a stalemate. And last but not least, another definition is any significant or sudden advanced development, achievement, or increase in knowledge that removes a barrier to progress. Again, an increase in knowledge that removes a barrier to progress. And that's what I'd like to share today. A little knowledge, a little insight as to some tools that you can use perhaps to allow you to come out of a breakdown state and move to a breakthrough space. What's some of the signs of a breakdown? If someone's in that state of consciousness, what does it look like? Well, one of the signs is depression. You find a lot of people, especially with this COVID and everything that's going on, people homebound, can't get out, people have lost their jobs. They're in a state of depression. They're feeling hopeless. They're feeling helpless. Sometimes it even affects the personality to the point where they can be bitter, sometimes confrontational, sometimes fault-finding, nitpicking, with a lot of different situations in their life. They can also be withdrawn, want to just stay home, sleep a lot, not be around people. And not trusting is another factor that is associated with the breakdown. Or perhaps you've been stuck in a relationship 10, 15 years, and you're miserable. But you say to yourself, oh, it's going to get better. Things are going to get better. But one of the things we learn as we mature spiritually is you can't change another person. You can't make a person be what you want or need them to be. The only thing you can change is yourself, your perspective on the situation, how you look at the relationship, what's valuable to you. You know, when we were younger, we were taught that it was selfish to put yourself first. You're never supposed to do that. Everybody else is supposed to go in front of you. But as we learn spiritual principles, we learn that's not true. Because you have to love yourself first before you can love anyone else. Like the song Richard played this morning about learning to love yourself enough so you can love someone else. But until you love yourself, you can't. So we've learned, as the song says, to walk away from beliefs that no longer serve us. And so we know today we got to learn to love ourselves first, and then everything else will fall into line. Or perhaps you are 35, 40, 50, 60 years old, but you are still complaining and always talking about what happened in your childhood. How mean your dad was, how bad your mom was, how your siblings did this and did that. If you are in your 40s, 50s, and 60s, and you're still complaining about the things that happened in your childhood with your parents, may I suggest you seek help. You see a therapist, a counselor, a life coach, someone to help you make a breakthrough. Here at Unity, we have several therapists, counselors, or if you don't even want to use anybody in our community, if you go through the phone book, by word of mouth, there's plenty of therapists and counselors out there to help you break through to get to your next stage so that you can live a happy life. Because you learn as you mature, it's not the tangible things that really matter in life. It's the intangible, the love, the peace of mind, the security, all of these things, friendship, family, love, those are the things that really matter. And if you're in a breakdown state of mind, you don't have those things. So I would like to encourage you to move to a breakthrough state. So let's talk about what a breakthrough looks like. A breakthrough is when you have been in a situation and you felt smothered, you felt overwhelmed, you felt you couldn't see the light, but then you started reading, you started talking, you started seeking help, and then what happens? A breakthrough happens. And that's the exact thing that happened to me when I left the cult. I didn't know where to go. I didn't know that the things I had learned that no longer served me needed to be replaced with things that would serve me. So for 12 years, I never went to a spiritual, to a church, to any organization. I just read, I studied, I got principles. And what happened? I was able to have a breakthrough. And since I've had that breakthrough, I've never looked back. And being here at Unity has really been the icing on the cake, as I've said many times before. Because if you don't learn here at Unity, if you can't change your life to live better than what you are, then you're in the wrong place. Because this place, if you are open, you can grow, you can learn. We have love, we have family here. We're like family here. A couple of steps that you can use too to raise your vibration, to have a breakthrough. We know that everything is vibration, everything in the universe. So one of the things you can do is always look up. You notice if you see homeless people or people who are depressed, they always got their head down. They're walking like this. Looking down, the vibration is low. So what we want to do is always look up and know that as we look up, we have help. We have people. We have the Holy Spirit. We have lots of therapists. We have lots of counselors, lots of people that can help us get to a breakthrough. So seek out a health professional, a counselor, a life coach, a psychiatrist, whatever is best for you to help you with your breakthrough. Another thing, it may seem simple, but it's really important. Get a lot of fresh air and sunshine. Because people who are depressed, if you notice, they want to stay in. They want the rooms dark. They want to sleep. They don't want to engage. So get plenty of fresh air and sunshine. Another thing, find a hobby. Find something to do that will replace the negative habits that you have developed to get out of the breakdown and move into a breakthrough. And I've shared this many times before, reprogram your mind by using tapes. There's a million YouTube videos. There's books, there's conferences, there are workshops. We're always having something going on here at Unity. As you'll find out today with our announcements, we have several workshops coming up pretty soon, next month, as a matter of fact. Another good habit to develop is watching what we eat. I'm not trying to encourage anybody to be vegan, vegetarian, take keto diet, whatever. But what I'm sharing is one of the things that all dietitians agree with is carbs and sugars. Excessive use of those are not good for us. So if we want to be aware of how many carbs and how much sugar we're putting into our bodies. Because for some people, we've learned it causes them excessive sugar to be depressed. So let's be mindful of what we're putting into our bodies. Reverend Paula had talked to us recently about meditation. One of the things we can do is start a daily routine. Let's do prayer. Let's do meditation. Let's listen to some encouraging music, whatever works for you. And find an organization, a spiritual community that you can associate with. It doesn't have to be Unity, even though I would recommend it 100%. But find some place that you can go to get the spiritual food that you need to help you to grow and to leave that state of a breakdown and come to a breakthrough. I'd like to share with you a very positive experience, an awesome experience that will show you what a breakthrough looks like. And it is one that we all got to witness here firsthand. In 2019, about three and a half years ago, we had a young lady who's a member here of Unity Renaissance. She was working 7 days a week, as hard as she could. Her and her partner decided, you know what? We work all the time. Let's take a break here. So her partner, business partner that is, decided, let's get on the bike. It's a beautiful day, and let's go for a ride down to the Outer Banks and just relax for a little while and have lunch. And so that's what they did. They got on the motorcycle, went to the Outer Banks, had a wonderful lunch. But on their way back home, a mile from where her business partner lived, there was a very tragic accident that happened. The partner and our member were critically hurt. They had to go to the hospital. The situation was really grave. They had to have multiple surgeries, the business partner and our beloved Unity Renaissance member. And it's been really interesting because Reverend Paula has interviewed her and she shared with us. And even as individuals, a lot of us have gone up to her and said, wow, we're so proud of you. You did a great job. Look where you are. And so one day I asked her, I said, did you ever have any doubts that you would make it? When you were laying there on that ground, not knowing where you were, what was going to happen? And she replied, I never, ever had any doubts that I would survive. That's what faith looks like. There was a minister in California who had a huge church. It was called the Faith Dome. And he would always share every single Sunday, we walk by faith and not by sight. And I used to listen to his programs every single Sunday until I really got the gist of what that meant to walk by faith and not by sight. And that's what this member of Unity Renaissance did. She didn't go by what the situation looked like. She didn't know what the outcome would be, but all she knew was she would survive and she would be okay, and that everything was in divine order. Many of you know who I'm talking about. It's the beautiful, the amazing, the encouraging, the inspirational Amber McCullough. Yes. So when you see her, you have a living example walking among you of what it looks like to walk by faith and not by sight. You have a living example of what it means to be in a breakdown situation and to come all the way up to a breakthrough. And it definitely takes faith to get to a breakthrough. So I ask you, what area of your life, right here, right now, today, do you need a breakthrough in? Do you believe it's possible? Can we dedicate ourselves this year to walk by faith and not by sight? I believe we can. If we stick with each other, if we encourage each other, when you see someone that's down, give them a smile. Say an encouraging word, whatever you can do to help them leave the state of consciousness that's broken down so that they can get a breakthrough. And now, if you will, we will do a short meditation. If you feel comfortable, please close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Exhale. Take another deep breath and exhale. Let's focus on one area of your life that you choose to change this year. Just one. And in your mind's eye, see it as already done. Feel how wonderful, how magic it's gonna be, knowing that it's already done. Give thanks and express gratitude for the blessing of it already being done. Keep affirming, it is so. It is so. It is so. And if you feel comfortable, put your hand over your heart and know that in 2022, you and I will do amazing things. We will walk by faith and not by sight, and know that everything in our life is in divine order. We are divinely loved. We are divinely protected. And so we say thank you, sweet Spirit. Thank you. Thank you.
Flow, Spirit, flow through me as I open up to be an expression of your unfolding peace. show through me as I open up to be an expression of your unfolding love.
And I think we can give Margaret a more fitting thank you. Thank you, Margaret. I love that talk. Such simple and powerful language. Thank you for that message this morning. It's now time for our love offering and time to remind